Welcome to Cynically Speaking, take three, where all we need is some cool jazz and some tasty buds, and we're good to go. Not going to be a long one. The games are great today so far. Philly and the Commanders, whoever you're rooting for, it doesn't matter. I'm personally on the side of Philly, but great game nonetheless. Jalen Daniels never disappoints, playing well, yada yada. The main thing here is that I want to talk about today is this whole uh, Buffalo Chiefs Chiefs getting the flag, blah 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 bullshit theory, man. It's like this. If you really believe that the NFL has it like somehow scripted, or the referees, or they pick your bullshit conspiracy that the Chiefs are just meant to, because X, Y, and Z have been called upon, put in place by the refs, by Goodell, by whomever. Um, if that's really what you think, then why bother watching the fucking game at all? It's rigged. Like, I don't watch the WWE for that reason. When I was a little kid, I watched wrestling because I thought it was real. Back in the days of uh, uh, good lord, Bulldog Bob Brown and Handsome Harley Race, those fucking dudes. I thought that shit was real, and maybe it was more real than it is today, but it was still fake. But as a kid, I thought it was. But then you know what? This weird thing happened where I fucking grew up and realized that, yeah, it's all bullshit. So if you're watching the WWE and you're one of those people, which I would imagine that if you actually think the NFL is rigged, then you're probably a WWE fan or some type of bullshit pseudo wrestling fan. Greco-Roman, you don't know what that is. Olympic wrestling, probably just what? Why would anybody watch that? That's gay. They're grabbing all over each other. Who knows what the fuck? Some South Park fucking mentality bullshit. Which, by the way, I love South Park for the record. But yeah, if you really think the NFL is scripted, or the refs have it in, or the fix is in, A, go fuck yourself. B, get fucking educated. C, if you ain't smart enough to fucking get educated, and then just go back to watching wrestling. That's really what you want to watch anyway. I mean, that's really your vibe, is wrestling. It sure in the fuck isn't real sports, you know. And if you're such a, I'm a betting man. So yeah, I'm a homer. I'm a Chiefs fan. Absolutely. 100%. Love them. However, I do sometimes bet against them if the spot is right. Sometimes if even if the spot is right, and I like, well, I kind of like this spot against the Chiefs. Maybe because I'm a homer, I don't bet, but I don't ever like, oh no, like the Chiefs are going to go fucking 17-0 every year or something. You have to be fucking ridiculously stupid to believe that kind of shit. Or if I really thought the NFL, or if I was like some of you fucking nut jobs online, in some of these Facebook posts and all this other ignorant places where you see this bullshit. Um, I'm not even lumping the pundits into that. I'm talking about people in the fucking comment section. If you're one of those peeps, then why don't you put money where your mouth is? Bet the fucking game and bet on the Chiefs to win. They're going to, right? The refs have it in for them. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Good lord. Like, the ignorant, and I'll be honest, I don't think 95, 98% of the bullshit you see out there in the comments of people, the refs, man, or the post, or whatever, or even Bills fans this particular week. When the Bills fans are they know football. They're a pretty sophisticated group of people, when it comes to knowing the sport and understanding the sport, loving the sport, having passion for the sport, yada, yada. You know, they do more than just jump off of shit onto tables. They know the game. And they're also good peeps, man. How often do they donate? They donate all kinds of money to Mark Andrews charity, and so they do it all the time. They really do. They seem to be really great people and great fans. However, uh, so most of the comments that are coming, they're coming from all over the country. But if I had to hazard a guess and had to pick the two most likely sources for ignorant fucking comments, say no more. It's got to be the 49er fans, and it's got to be the fucking Cowgirl fans. Got to be. Because those two fan bases are two of the dumbest fucking fan bases I've ever seen in my fucking life. I mean, just ridiculous. Like, full of just morons and bros and fucking, Just they don't know the game. They don't give a fuck about the game. You know, they just they just fucking whine and cry about their fucking team. Yeah, it's anyway. I'm making a fool of myself with all my little voices and my fucking shit, but it's so fucking annoying listening to these people fucking talk. So the statistics don't back up the ref theory about, um, you know, um, the ref theory about, all his, roughing the passer calls and all that shit. They don't. Matter of fact, what the stats do back up, Josh gets them a lot more often, quite frankly. I've seen that guy fucking, I mean, for a dude as big as he is and can take a hit, not the more smaller in stature guy like Mahomes, he sure fucking flops a lot, man. He sure fucking whines a lot. But I love him as a player. He's just playing the game, same as Mahomes. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of when Mahomes does and flops, the once and great while he does it. I don't like any flopping in any sport, period. By the way, soccer started that ignorant bullshit. I mean, before soccer got popular in this country, did we ever see basketball players, NBA players flop? Fuck no, man. Some of the toughest dudes in the world. They fucking going into the hole, fucking going, getting rough down the paint and shit. Football players, you ever see them? No, absolutely not. It's the influx of popularity of soccer that somehow has made it acceptable to just, oh, I barely got touched. Let me throw myself on the ground, which is pretty ironic considering that's the if there's a sport where women and men could play together without worrying about, the physicality of it, like, the brutality of it, not the speed, not any of that shit, but just the brutality of it, not hurting either one, it'd be soccer. Seriously. Like, I'm not saying the guys would not run the girls or whatever, but all in all, it's not like you got to worry about that poor girl taking a big shot from a dude. You don't. You could have mixed co-ed professional soccer and it'd be fine. It really fucking would. Nobody's getting hurt. You know, Say what you want. You couldn't do that in other sports without people getting hurt. You just couldn't. Not even in baseball. Not even baseball. 98, 102 mile an hour fastballs. I'm not getting in that box. I don't know a whole lot of, unless you grew up, and I'm not saying a girl couldn't hit a fastball. If they can, more power to them, because hitting a fucking 100 mile an hour fastball has got to be by far one of the hardest things in sport, in all sports, to do. Nevertheless, off the original point. Original point being the chuckleheads that I call 49er fans and uh, you know, and fucking cowgirls fans. Oh, almost said the right name, Cowboys. No, it's cowgirls, believe me. And then speaking of which, Schottenheimer, or not Schottenheimer, Jones goes out there and hires Brian Schottenheimer. Brian who? What? Oh, his dad was, yeah, okay. And he's been a journeyman, as they call it, assistant coach. Did we ever think Jones is ever going to hire a legitimate leader of men? You know, I mean, somebody that commands respect, a Belichick type, a Carroll type, anybody like that. Somebody that basically he can't boss around. He brought in Schottenheimer for a couple really good reasons. One, Schottenheimer's desperate for a head coaching job because he got zero interviews, right? This interview cycle got fucking nothing. God damn, this is some more of that Goombas shit. Really good. That hybrid sativa. Anyway, he brought in Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer didn't even have an interview. He's that. Was he really that prized? Obviously not. But Jones loved him. So Jones brings in Schottenheimer because he knows Schottenheimer's desperate, right? He's not getting any of the interviews, which makes him more likely to just go along and get along. It's one of the reasons McCarthy probably wasn't successful. I'll bet you any amount of money McCarthy would go to Jerry and say, "Hey, I'd like to have this player, that player, blah, 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 blah." And Jones is like, I don't think so, either for financial reasons or for he doesn't agree with the trade, with the draft assessment. I've seen videos, of Jerry in those draft rooms, right? And he's got all these people around. They're all giving him his opinion. And ultimately, he disagrees with everybody's fucking opinion. And guess what they all do? Oh, yep, you're right there, JJ. Boy, good job, JJ. All right, nice move, JJ. I mean, the level of ass kissing, and I get it. You just got to keep your job. But I'll take that back. I don't get it. It's probably the reason why I don't have some grandiose career. Well, that and I don't really have the education for it. And, come on. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I don't have some grandiose career. I don't want one anyway. I like just goofing. Uh, just kind of being myself and doing what I need to do. I get by just fine. But which means the reason I even say that is because that allows me to be wholly confident when I say or when I make fun of these guys who take jobs just to have a label, a fucking title, and knowing that they're just gonna have to kiss the ass and suck the dick of whoever's above them. It's fuck that. I'm not living my life on my knees, and I can't understand why anybody. I guess money. Schottenheimer, I'm sure will probably make over $1 million. I would imagine as a head coach of the Cowboys. I mean, granted, Jones is a cheap ass, but I'm still thinking he's going to be in that ballpark. So I don't know, but even that kind of money, I can't do it. I just can't do it. But more power to all you ass kissers, cocksuckers, and bootlickers out there. Knock yourselves the fuck out. Do what you gotta do, man. I ain't here to judge you. I'm just here to make fun of you. So, anywho, yeah, just wanted to give a quick. Couldn't take any more. Listen to all these pundits. Speaking of the Jones and Schottenheimer debacle, is what I'll go ahead and call it. I was watching the game day show this morning. I forget which one it was. Rex Ryan, they're going around the horn. Rex Ryan, Brewski, everybody's like, "Oh, well, I think it was a good hire," because nobody wants to say anything necessarily negative, I guess, because they all like the guy, they know him better. Smith, coincidentally, Alex Smith, ex Chiefs quarterback, that helped Mahomes along when Mahomes first got drafted for that first year. Great guy by all accounts. Smith, uh, he was the one like, "Hey, I got to push back a little bit, fellas," and started, explaining how, in his opinion, it was a pretty bizarre hire, considering they didn't look at anybody else really, or didn't really go into some of these other candidates and whatnot, and they waited so long and so on. And and I'm guessing, I'm just guessing, I don't know, but that the other dudes, like I know Schottenheimer worked under Rex Ryan, for example, who had very positive things. They loved the hire, blah, blah, blah. I think Brewski knew him better, but my point is that all those guys that were saying very positive things, they're doing it because they have allegiances toward Schottenheimer. They've worked with him. They know him way better. Smith barely knows him. He just knows him from around the way as an NFL, personnel. So, he was more apt to just speak the truth, because you don't feel like he's ripping on his buddy or something like the other guys I think probably did. And then Schefter comes out of fucking nowhere with this rebuke of Smith that he's like raising his voice and he's practically pounding on the table. I didn't say actually, I said practically, but just fucking losing his goddamn mind. And it's like, what the fuck do you say to piss you off? What do you give a fuck? And why are you so vehemently, defending it? Oh, yeah. Because you're one of Jerry Jones's, fucking cocksuckers. Fucking Shifter, man, which I know gets great information, but there's, why he gets great information? Because he kisses everybody's ass that has the fucking information, right? And he knows that if he sits there, because Jones is so much like a Trumpian type character, that Schefter knows that if he just sits there, lets the comments go by and doesn't say anything, which he could easily do instead of making an ass of himself by making it sound like Smith's crazy, like Smith's never been in the NFL or some shit. Oh, by the way, Schefter, how many years did you? Oh yeah, never. Okay, that's what I thought. Me neither, but you know what I'm saying. So Smith sitting there, being the only one with willingness to say anything, remotely negative about the hire. Schefter freaking out and going hard in the paint on Smith over it. It's because Schefter knows that if Jones sees that Smith criticism, which he will, because Jones pays so much attention to the fucking media, and he notices that his boy Shefty over there isn't saying something, isn't speaking up, that he's just being quiet, chilling, not saying anything negative or positive about any of it. Well, that's the same thing as saying something negative in Jerry's eyes. He's like a Trumpian guy, like, I need absolute loyalty, that kind of bullshit. So that's where Shefty goes hard in the paint on Smith, because why? Because he's got to. Because he knows Jerry's going to see that bullshit, and he wants Jerry to see how well he stood up for him so he can keep getting some of that inside bullshit info. But the level to which him and others like him, I don't give a fuck what your job is. If part of your job description means kissing ass, sucking dick, and doing bending yourself over to get fucked by your boss because that's well, you need the money or what. Change your lifestyle, man. Change your fucking lifestyle. Don't take that shit off anybody. You know, it's better to fucking die standing up than live on your fucking knees. You know, I mean, I know we've all heard that before, you know, but it is, you know, I sleep like a fucking baby. No, I don't sleep on, 1,000 thread Egyptian cotton, but I still sleep like a fucking baby. I ain't tossing and turning, worrying about, you know, what this dude chastising me the next morning because I didn't stick up for him hard enough or whatever. Man, say what you got to say. Be honest with fucking people. There's way more respect on a macro level from all of society for you. At least I would have more respect for you than on the micro level. If you're busy over here just doing everything you can to kiss somebody's ass, man, there's nothing to respect about that. Well, I'm doing it for my. And don't get me wrong. As I say that, I have to acknowledge I've eaten some pride. I've sucked some ass myself. Not really kissed the ass. I'm not really saying anything, but I kept my mouth shut on a number of occasions in earlier years. Because yeah, you have kids, man. You need the job. I get it. That shit I understand. But unless you got some shit like that, if your sole reason for doing it is not because you need it, because you just want more. I'm quite sure Shefty's got enough money to take care of him. He doesn't need to do this, but it keeps him in his position. Or others, like him. Why do some of these powerful rich people, kiss Trump's ass? They have more money than they need. It ain't for that. It's for the access to power so they can get more. It's always thing get more. But the single mom or the single dad raising kids who's got to, swallow his pride and take a little shit from his fucking asshole boss because he needs the fucking job in this current situation. Otherwise, his kids don't have Christmas or his kids don't get fucking dinner. Much respect for that because that's fucking hard to do. But I would urge you as soon as you get to a point where you can walk away from that, fucking walk away. Have that be the goal. Your goal may not be a big fancy house or a big fancy car or whatever that is. Your goal may not be financially based, but at least have it be, I just want to get to a point where I can go get another job, pay same amount, maybe a little more, and not have to deal with that. Because trust me when I tell you, as somebody who's done it himself, you find yourself in those positions and you get to a point where you're just afraid to because, oh, what if I can't? What if? And one thing I discovered is that, you know what? You were looking for a job when you found that one. Some very wise dumbass told me that many, many years ago. And so what's the difference? Um, Peace of mind, dude. Life is short. Peace of mind is all that fucking matters. So anyway, that said, I don't know how I got from the Bills and that kind of bullshit theory to, I don't know. It wasn't linear. I know that. Anywho, I hope everybody enjoys the game. I'm going to finish watching the second half of that I'm already missing a little bit of the Commanders and Eagles game. And then, yeah, we're going to watch the Chiefs hopefully beat the Bills. I'm excited. I'm positive, but I'm not putting money on it one way or the other. Anyway, good luck to whoever y'all bet on, and we'll see you around.